Welcome into another episode of the Crypto Dojo Show, where we discuss everything that you should know about the world of crypto. And in today's episode, I have a quick clip from, well, it's not real quick, it's a couple minutes, but it's a clip from the Crypto Trends podcast. This was posted like 3 weeks ago, and I was listening to Robert Croak and Armando Pantoja have a conversation, and I thought they were hitting on some major points. So I kind of just want to replay this so we can see it and then kind of break down what it is that they're what they're talking about. So again, welcome into another episode of the Crypto Dojo Show, where we discuss everything you should know about the world of crypto. And let's get right into it.
Trump wants to make the United States a crypto capital. And if you're able to see the writing on the wall, the plan is really brilliant. Is that I was afraid that the U.S. would wait and be the last movers. But I'm glad to see the United States is doing this because we can still be a world leader and we can still be ahead of everybody else. Me and you talked about this over the last year. We were afraid that the United States would be protectionist. They would try to protect us, the traditional markets, and be slow to adopt and fall behind. But I'm glad that Trump got in, if only for the reason that he could go after, and protect the United States when it comes to cryptocurrency into the future. The crazy thing is people still see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a scam. I don't get it. And I'm going to say this, right, is that at first I was like, maybe they don't understand it. And I was like, maybe they have some kind of blocks in their head. At this point, I'm sorry, I'm going to start questioning people's intelligence. Because even if you don't understand it, the signs of Trump doing what he's doing, the signs of other countries doing it, the signs of the banks doing it, and if you are any intelligent, you say something is going on. You may not understand it, but you wouldn't be still calling it a scam. Let's just say it's not a scam, but let's just say if it were a scam. Once the government takes out their big stamp and stamps it, it's not a scam anymore.
BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK.
Exactly. So even if it was, even if it started, I'm not saying it was, but let's just say it was. Once they stamp it, it's not a scam no more. It's legit. The government legitimizes things. That's what they do. They have stamps and they legitimize things. Right? That's what when you file for businesses, you file for securities. That's what the government does. They turn things that were, if they weren't legitimate, they're now legitimate now. So I don't understand it. It's the easiest money I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen an opportunity. I've been saying this for 5-6 years. I've never seen an opportunity this easy to make money. And it probably won't ever come back.
That's one of the driving factors of why we're here. To educate people. Like we say all the time, it's not easy. There's volatility. There's bad actors. But if you follow the information and you follow the money, remember, I've been saying for years to all of you, you don't have to be first to an investment. You just have to be ahead of the masses. And guess what? You're still ahead of the masses. I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. I don't care what XRP's price is today. You should be thinking about, what is this going to be priced at in 2030? What's it going to be priced at in 2035? This is what long-term investing looks like. Too many people, I believe, still look at crypto as a kid's game to go in and try and YOLO $500 and turn it into $10,000. That's possible. There are people that can do that. But for a long-term goal of investing, I still believe crypto is the best sector to be in. It almost puts real estate in a position where the numbers don't add up anymore because the returns on real estate just aren't there. The numbers don't add up right now. If I have to choose by investing $100,000 in real estate or $100,000 in crypto, I'm going to choose crypto every single time right now, even though I'm still adding real estate to my portfolio. It's just not as much because the numbers don't add up.
So what he's saying, that's a major point. So when you look at, let's say, HBAR, so not looking at these things in the short term, but looking at them on a long-term horizon, right? So if we're looking at HBAR on the 1 week, it's down 7%, it's red. On the month, it's down 6.5% in the red. But if you look at 5 years, there is nothing in the stock market that real estate, what is going to have given you 2.4, just went up to 9, 2.49,000% return in 5 years. It went up 2.49,000%, not 50%, not 100%, not 200%, not 500%, not 100, not 1,000%, not 1,500%, but almost 2,500% in 5 years. In a year, 225%. If you go look at your 401k, your 401k isn't giving you these types of returns over 5 years. So that's what he's saying. You're this space. You're not gonna get these. You're not gonna see these types of returns anywhere else. Bitcoin over 5 years, up 1,000%. Ethereum over 5 years, up 2,000%. Quant over 5 years, to almost 3,000%. Almost 3,000% over 5 years. That's crazy. XLM 716% over 5 years. So if you have money sitting somewhere and it's just sitting, why wouldn't you have it in digital assets to where it can be accumulating as well? Just saying. Valid question. It's a good question, right?
So everyone listening, if you're not sure on what to do, dollar cost average, do your research, and understand this is likely the last 2 years of being able to get in early and really have the gains that we show and talk about on a weekly basis, because by then the adoption is going to be too big. Retail is finally going to get in through all of these various vehicles that are out there, and the gains will no longer be as large as they are now.
I have a question for you, because somebody asked me this and I want to get your opinion on it. Somebody said that if Trump does get in and he which something you said triggered this, if he gets in and he does do the capital gains thing where there's no capital gains on cryptocurrency, American-made cryptocurrencies, how do you think that would affect the markets, like real estate? You just mentioned that, and stocks. You think people will pull money out of those and funnel them into cryptocurrency? Do you think it would affect the market? How do you think that would affect the market?
I think what it'll do, and we've already seen that for the last 6 weeks, it will definitely add more value to these ISO 22, these American-made coins, but they do serve a huge purpose. And most people might not understand this, is that we are migrating all banking services from the SWIFT payment system to the ISO 22 payment system. And the coins that we talk about that have been on this big run in the recent weeks are all of these ISO 22 coins like XLM, XRP, Quant, ADA, and there's a couple other ones, HBAR. And these coins, you've seen a huge run on these coins because people are smart. If you can buy one investment versus another, and this investment has no capital gains tax, even just the word of that proposal of no capital gains tax is going to add adoption to these coins. It's going to add price appreciation, but it's also going to add investment dollars coming into the United States, because other projects that we're leaning away from developing in the US are going to be like, oh shit, there's a free 25% on the table right here. So we're going to start developing more in the U.S. versus wherever else they may be, because the U.S. is so pro-crypto. This is huge news regarding the ISO 22 coins, but it's also the adoption. People don't realize if you take Chainlink along with these ISO 22 coins and everything that's being developed in our payment systems, this is the future of money. And it's really easy for those of you that own businesses or you have family abroad or workers abroad to understand this, because doing cross-border payments, if you're trying to do a wire or send somebody money in China or anywhere else, is very expensive and difficult. Whereas you can send money with cryptocurrency in a second, and it's generally pretty much free. That is the difference. Adoption, you can say crypto has no backing, Bitcoin has nothing to back it, but ask yourself this question: what backs the dollar? What makes the dollar worth a dollar? It's a piece of paper. The only thing that makes it worth a dollar is what people say it's worth. And the same thing applies to crypto, but it's even better because cryptocurrency, each and every sector of crypto, like Bitcoin or XRP, they all have a use case that creates value. And when you talk about Bitcoin, there is limited supply, whereas with the US dollar, there will be never Never will there be limited supply. So they can keep printing and printing until the U.S. completely runs out of the ability to print more because the national debt will be too high. It already is. So I think that's another important factor here for everyone to understand as it relates to cryptocurrency. It is the future. It's happening before your eyes. So please don't sit on the sidelines. Get out there, do your research, and understand the possibilities here. So our next talking point, and we've been...
So he said a lot there, but it was a lot of good information, great information. So if you're concerned about, let's say crypto being like a Ponzi scheme, a lot of people feel like, these things aren't real and it's just play money, it's just funny money, and it's like a fad. But that is true in a sense, but it's true for some of these cryptocurrencies, but not all. And he used the dollar as an example to say the dollar isn't backed by anything, but we still use it as money, and we trust it. He's saying that with these cryptocurrencies, they have value because of their use case. The dollar only has value because this is what we've always used. The dollar has value because the government says that this is what it's worth. We have faith in the dollar, but it's not backed by anything, and they can just print as much as they want to. So when they print as much as they want to, it devalues the dollars that are already in people's pockets. So the difference with this technology is, one, you can't just make as many as you want. There's a limited supply. Two, it can be back. It's what it's backed by is its use case. Well, what is it used for? It's a important technology because it's being used as a service. So that is what its use case is, what is basically being backed by. So you could say the dollar, or when the dollar was backed by gold, it was backed by something. It was backed by a real asset. These digital assets, these cryptocurrencies, they are backed by their use case. We need to use them. They will help the financial infrastructure. So he also said that the payment system is changing. That was another key point. So understanding that what's really happening is the traditional payment systems that we've been using. So everybody uses payment systems. So you go to the store, you use your debit card, you're using a payment system. You might be using Clover. You might be using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe. Like all of these technology, these are all payment systems. Now, we don't understand how these payment systems work, and unless you want to, you don't have to understand how these digital assets necessarily work. But what's happening is these distributed ledgers. XRP is a distributed ledger. Bitcoin is a distributed ledger. Ethereum is a distributed ledger. HBAR, Hedera is a distributed ledger. These distributed ledgers have native coins. So the native coin for Bitcoin's distributed ledger is Bitcoin. The native coin for the XRP ledger is XRP. The native coin for the Stellar distributed ledger is XLM. The native coin for Hedera's distributed ledger is HBAR. So you have a distributed ledger, and picture in your mind a piece of paper. I got a piece of paper right here in front of me, and I'm drawing a line. So on the left side is an item, and on the right side is an item. And what I'm doing is saying, okay, there was a transaction, and now I need to balance my book. Now I'm using this pen to balance my book. So on these distributed ledgers, the coins are like the pen. The coins are what is balancing the book. So moving from a traditional payment system to these distributed ledgers, you don't have to necessarily know how it works, but that's what's happening to the payment. That's what's happening to the payment systems of the global financial payment system. It's all being moved to distributed ledger technology. So you can own a piece of these networks by purchasing the coins that are on those networks. Now, every cryptocurrency isn't like the ones that Robert was discussing in the video. In Armando, the coins that they're talking about, these are a different breed of coin. 99% of the other tokens in the market have nothing to do with this, because anybody can just make a coin. But some of these projects actually have real solid use case. So that being said, it is important, for those who are, interested in the space to learn about what's going on and understand, the transition that is taking place, not just in America. This is a global shift to distributed ledgers. That this is the new money. This is the new money. This is a global shift that's happening. And so, we want to make sure that we are providing the information so that you can make the proper educated decision when it comes to these different moves and opportunities that you can take and make. So, again, I don't want to be before you too long, but I just wanted to share that. I came across that video and I was like, man, this is some good information here. I got to talk about that. I got to talk about it. So, as always, I appreciate you for tuning in to another episode of the Crypto Dojo Show, where we discuss everything you should know about the world of crypto. Have a good evening. Oh, it's January 9th, 2025, by the way. I gotta get better at putting these dates in here. I need to, put the dates in here. I gotta put a date tag on the thing. You know what I'm saying? But yes, have a good evening, good people.